Alright guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead, and to say the least I'm upset guys. So I'm going to take my glasses off, that way we can do some real talk, because something really bad happened and we need to talk about it. So most of you have seen this shot of the wood building, and some of you remember something was back there, but it's not now. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the local stories about tornadoes and big storms blowing through lately. Well, we got just a tail end piece of that, and sadly we lost our antenna tower. A 50-foot antenna tower with 2 directional antennas as well as a VHF antenna, amps, wires, everything gone. Now as you can see, we have one here, but it's just a little one. This was a 50-footer. Now, this is frustrating guys, because it could have been avoided, and it was completely my fault, because I have actually already bought everything for the guy lines for it, and I mean way overblown guy lines, and just didn't get a chance to get them on. And this could have gone really bad. Now, it wouldn't have killed anyone or anything, but it could have damaged our house. So let's take a look at the damage. Alright, so walking up here, a lot of things are evident. One, rust is starting to be a concern, and we actually have broke seams and the whole thing actually bent over. These two stayed in their concrete. That one did not, it broke off. But you can see the crossbar, and you can see the concrete over there. It actually snapped the concrete in half. Now, we did have this connected to a tree and strapped to it, which it actually is still actually strapped to it right there. But guys, look at the damage and how far down it goes. Now, we had already taken this big homemade antenna I made down a long time ago, and I will link to the video on our other channel of how we made this and what it was a clone of. This, as far as I know, from consumer grade homemade, was one of the biggest TV antennas made recently in the last like 10 years. But down there, if you can see, I have a giant woven mess that I've now got to clean up. So as I survey the area, there's just more and more damage everywhere. If you look up there, there's a piece of cap missing, and the truss is broke. So that storm had just demolished stuff. I'm scared to walk over the hill now and see if there's a bunch of trees down there. But this is bad. Honestly, this alone is enough of a mess to keep me busy, because everything out here is super dry, guys. It's not like I can take a grinder and just start cutting these sections up, because it'll just set the hillside on fire, which means that I'm gonna have to take and pull it all apart manually after I cut my way down in there. And you can't get any equipment back here because of the way it's set up. So no tractors or nothing like that. This is going to be a hand pull, and up that hill is going to be fun. Hopefully I can unbolt it, or maybe use bolt cutters to cut the heads off and then pull it apart, but this is going to suck. So I'll be honest, this has taught me a lot, because procrastination is not your friend. And it's really rough to know that this is just a small example of what I had to guy line that out. I had the collar, I had the cables, I had the clamps, I had everything to do the project, but I just got busy doing other things and put it off. Now, if that had fallen another direction, it could have smashed that wood burner building. If it had gone another direction, it could have smashed the actual wood burner, or part of the house or fell over into the backyard. While I don't think it could have got very far in the backyard, the antennas probably could have ended up in there, and I would have felt really bad if something had happened to my dogs. So the big thing I'm trying to convey to you guys is not only to share my mistakes and show you that no one's perfect, but just to show you the actual devastation that weather can do. A lot of people could say, well, that was the storm's fault, there's no reason that should have fallen. Well, there is a reason it had fallen, because I didn't have it all guyed off. And to be fair, with that kind of storm and those kind of winds, there's a very good chance that the guying would have ripped out of the ground. I mean, I'm telling you guys, those winds were horrible, and we live, as you can see, pretty much on top of a large hill in southeast Ohio, and there is not much to cut the wind, to be honest. So here's the deal. I'd say this amp is probably completely destroyed. As you can see, it's had the pieces bent over and broke off. It's toast. This one looks like it's alright. I think we can salvage it. We'll have to see. There's no guarantees. Just the falling of it may have jutted the electronics inside of it. If it is, it is. But this double 4-bay antenna, that one is pretty much totaled. This one looks salvageable, so at least there's some good news there. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the VHF one. It is pretty banged up, I'll be honest. I might be able to salvage some parts off that and build a homemade antenna out of that, so we might be able to get save a few dollars repurposing that and making a new one. Because as you'll see in upcoming future videos, I make a lot of homemade ones that work really well. But as far as the first bay, the back side of this one, as far as the reflector and all that and everything, looks solid, but I'm not sure if it ripped the wiring out, so I may have to put like a channel master ball in back on it to where you hook the wire in. That's not a big deal, that's an easy fix. The lower one, however, I don't know. It's 50-50 on if I can fix it. Worst case, I might be able to take the reflector off that one and put one giant custom reflector behind both those and put them up again. It's really frustrating because I know that there's no way I could be for sure that this wouldn't happen, because I could put all them guy lines and cables and all that stuff in. If the wind's coming hard enough that it can take it, it will take it, and that's just as simple as that. Now, having it strapped to the tree gives it more top weight, so when the tree gave at the bottom there, when it broke off, you're adding more dead weight for the tower when the wind hits it. So once again, I really feel that if I had it guy lined off, this probably wouldn't have happened. But even so, you're talking about a storm that was producing, you know, tornado winds. So who knows? But like anything, all you can do is rebuild. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You just do the best you can and keep moving forward. I personally like to take responsibility for things like this. That way it promotes me to do better in the future and be more aware of things like this and more mindful. We learn and grow every day, and we just got to try and do the best we can. But with that said, I really like the fact that I can bring these things to you guys and show you fails and bad things that happen. Everything isn't always sunshine and rainbows, no matter how hard we try. You know, being on YouTube, you know, I'm not jaded enough to think that I'm not gonna go in the comments and get roasted about this, and that's okay. You know, there's nothing you're gonna say to me that's gonna make me feel any worse than I do now. Trust me. But at the same time, I feel better prepared for the future that this will never happen again, because I will overdo everything. That's just my personality. Once something like this, what happens to me, be it big scale like this or small scale, I learn from it and I build better. And then usually it gets like way blown out of control and I overdo everything, but I never have a problem with it again. So with that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll prepare for the roasting in the comments. But if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, because yeah, I'm having a rough day here, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos, be them good or fails. Hit the like, and if possible, go down and give me a comment. Let's try to keep it on the nice side. But yeah, I'm a dumbass, so I got a mess to clean up. I'll see you guys in the next one.